fellows. He'd certainly be surprised at the pulling power of The Comedy Company and their success as a money spinner. Within a few months of their launch last year, their characters were cult figures, their language part of our own. Now The Comedy Company could easily be called the Comedy Corporation.
I'm home, my name's Collie.
Good luck to your family.
It's the Comedy Company! Starring Mark Mitchell, Marianne Bay.
Love them or hate them, there's no denying Comedy Company's success. Last year, they silenced their critics, made themselves household names, and left an indelible mark on the future of Australian comedy.
I prefer the storytelling to be ordinary everyday life things more than getting into that area.
This year, Ian McFadgen's Media Arts Corporation, which packages Comedy Company, will produce 32 hours of humour at a cost of around $3 million. The top stars now take home around $5,000 an episode. But like the magician loath to take the magic out of his trick, McFadgen is reluctant to talk formulas. Suffice to say, Comedy Company is the champion of life in the suburbs.
We know that what most people are interested in is their own lives. We're particularly interested in everyday life. It's 7:30 and it's family dream time. And you want something that the whole family can watch together, and that's where I think we've succeeded.
When you make the front cover of Bulletin magazine, funny business becomes big business. For the writer, performer and artist Ian McFadgen, that's forced a big change in the way he operates.
I spent a long time looking for other people who could be the business side of things and say, look, you set up the deals, you do the contracts, you look after the budgets, and I'll just write brilliant scripts. And I realised you can't do that because in the end, if you really want control, if you really want to have the final say, you've really got to be in charge. So I've had to become a businessman.
That's a trend comedy expert Pete Crofts has spotted.
These days, the people getting into comedy are business people. They're young business people. Not like the old days, you just drifted into it. Times have changed. These people think the way you need to think.
Ian McFadgen has exploited the success of his Comedy Company through merchandising, from show bags to stickers and T-shirts, an album. It's even landed him in court in a battle over Kylie Moll's diary. And soon there'll be a board game and Kylie and Con dolls. Pull the cord and it says couple of days.
I caress inanimate objects and grin like a lunatic.
Television comedy has left the cabaret circuit looking a little thin, but its impact on the prospects for comedy is dramatic.
I think comedy in Australia is going really well on television, and in that with the Comedy Company, who's sort of holding the door open for all the other shows like The Big Gig and all sorts of comedians appearing all around the place on television, because it's been shown that Australian comedy can rate. And so suddenly it's worth investing in.
It's sort of probably shown some up-and-comers that there are carrots at the end. There is something to aim for, you know. You can earn very well out of comedy.
People go, no, too dangerous, too risky. And now all of a sudden, with the success of Comedy Company, people are saying, oh yes, hang on, there is a way that we can make this work if we put a bit of work and a bit of time and money into it.
It's spreading to television, to radio, through to advertising, and that's spreading further out into the business world, into the educational world, and also into the health world. The moment humour becomes one of the structures of our economic base, man's got a chance.
And Con the Fruiterer, king of Melbourne's Moomba Festival, can command a six-figure sum for a national advertising campaign. Russell Gilbert's radio comedy show goes national. Kylie Moll gives up smoking for the Quit campaign. And Glenn Robbins promotes safety for the State Electricity Commission. You can't talk comedy these days without mention of the Comedy Company. And as the new generation of business comedians takes hold, the rules are being rewritten. Suddenly, humour is big business. Tracy Curo, 10 News.
That's great, as long as it stays funny.
Yes, so we're in the wrong business, I was going to say.
Oh,